Hello and welcome back to the only channel asking the hard-hitting questions like, could a wizard build a perpetual motion machine with a simple charm? Apparently, 72% of you think the answer is a resounding yes, which brings me to the topic of today's video. I'm going to be looking at some of the most iconic artifacts in the Harry Potter universe and give them a ranking from 1, which is basically a neat magical gadget, to 5, something that has the potential to completely shatter the established rules of the wizarding world. Oh, well done. So here's the criteria. 1. A neat magical gadget. 2. Mildly game-changing. 3. Society-altering items that make you wonder why isn't everyone using this. 4. Reality-bending risk. This should be causing really substantial problems, but it's not for some reason. And lastly, 5, which is basically apocalypse, end of civilization stuff, and the artifacts that should probably be causing it. I know someone's going to comment, it's just magic, don't worry about it. Yeah, obviously I know it's a fictional story, but what's the fun in that? So, restrain yourself and let's jump into the first one, the Marauder's Map. When I was first thinking about this list, the Marauder's Map seemed like a definite contender for a high spot. It's a magical map of Hogwarts that shows the location of every single person within the castle grounds in real time. It even shows secret passages and how to access them. The potential for misuse here seems absolutely enormous. Think about it from a student's perspective. You have a tool that lets you track teachers, avoid filch, and sneak around the castle with almost no chance of getting caught. It's the ultimate tool for mischief, which is exactly what its creators intended. But the implications go far beyond simple schoolboy pranks. The map shows everyone, and that's a key point. It doesn't just show students and staff. It shows ghosts, Peeves, and even people in their animagus forms. This is how Lupin was able to identify Peter Pettigrew, who was supposed to be dead. This piece of enchanted parchment is essentially a high-tech surveillance system that bypasses all known forms of magical concealment. It's a massive security breach waiting to happen. In the hands of someone like Voldemort, the map would be a terrifying weapon. He could track Dumbledore's movements, identify members of the Order of the Phoenix within the castle, and plan his attacks with perfect precision. The fact that this incredibly powerful artifact was created by 4 teenagers is astonishing. However, the map does have its limitations. It only covers Hogwarts and its immediate grounds. It also doesn't seem to differentiate between people with the same name, which could lead to some confusion. And while it's a powerful tool for surveillance, it doesn't offer any offensive capabilities. It's an information-gathering device, and a very good one at that, but it can't directly harm anyone. It also requires the user to know the specific incantation to activate and deactivate it, which provides a small layer of security. Considering all this, I'm going to place the Marauder's Map at a solid 3 out of 5. It's a society-bending artifact that raises a lot of questions about privacy and security in the wizarding world, but it's not quite a world-ender. Next up, we have the Sword of Gryffindor. This is a goblin-made sword that has some very unique properties. It's imbued with the ability to absorb anything that makes it stronger. In the series, it absorbs basilisk venom, which gives it the power to destroy Horcruxes. This is a huge deal, as Horcruxes are notoriously difficult to destroy. The sword is also sentient to a degree, as it presents itself to any worthy Gryffindor in a time of need. This means it can't just be picked up and used by anyone. You have to be deemed worthy by the sword itself. The ability to destroy Horcruxes makes the Sword of Gryffindor one of the most important artifacts in the entire series. Without it, Harry and his friends would have had a much harder time defeating Voldemort. The fact that it can absorb powers is also incredibly potent. Imagine what other abilities it could gain. If it came into contact with a Dementor, could it absorb the ability to consume souls? The possibilities are both fascinating and terrifying. The sword's sentience and its loyalty to Gryffindor act as a built-in safety mechanism. This prevents it from falling into the wrong hands and being used for evil. However, the criteria for being a worthy Gryffindor are a bit vague. Harry, Neville, and even Ron are all able to use it. It seems to prioritize bravery and self-sacrifice. But let's consider the worst-case scenario. What if a quote_0 was corrupted? What if someone with noble intentions initially was later twisted to a darker path? The sword would still be loyal to them. This presents a significant risk. Despite this, the sword's primary function is as a weapon against dark magic. It's a force for good in the world, and its limitations, while not foolproof, do a decent job of keeping its power in check. It's a powerful tool, but not one that threatens to unravel the fabric of reality. For that reason, I'm giving the Sword of Gryffindor a 2 out of 5. It's a mildly game-changing artifact with a specific and crucial purpose. Now let's talk about the Invisibility Cloak. This is one of the 3 Deathly Hallows, and it's a cloak that makes the wearer completely invisible. Unlike other invisibility cloaks, which are often just enchanted with a disillusionment charm or a bedazzling hex, this one is a true invisibility cloak. Its magic is permanent and cannot be broken by any known spell. It's a perfect and flawless form of concealment. The strategic advantages of such an item are almost limitless. You could infiltrate any location, gather any information, and escape any situation without being seen. It's the ultimate tool for espionage and stealth. Harry uses the cloak extensively throughout the series, and it saves his life on numerous occasions. It allows him to move around Hogwarts undetected, eavesdrop on conversations, and follow people without their knowledge. In the hands of a less scrupulous individual, the cloak could be used for all sorts of nefarious purposes. Theft, assassination, and sabotage would all be made laughably easy. The fact that this cloak is one of a kind makes it even more powerful. It's a unique advantage that no one else possesses. However, the cloak does have its weaknesses. It doesn't conceal sound or smell, so a careful listener or a creature with a keen sense of smell could still detect the wearer. Alastor Moody's magical eye was also able to see through it. And of course, there's the Hominum Revelio spell, which can detect human presence. While the cloak provides perfect visual invisibility, it doesn't make the wearer completely undetectable. This is a crucial limitation that prevents it from being completely overpowered. It's an incredibly useful tool, but it's not an instant win button. There are ways to counter it, even if they are not common knowledge. The cloak represents a significant imbalance of power, but it's not something that could topple governments or end the world on its own. I'm placing the Invisibility Cloak at a 4 out of 5. It's a reality-bending artifact that should cause more problems than it does, but its few weaknesses keep it from reaching the top tier. Let's move on to the Resurrection Stone. This is the second of the Deathly Hallows, a stone that can bring back echoes of the dead. It doesn't bring people back to life in the true sense. Instead, it creates a shade or a memory of the deceased person that can interact with the living. The emotional and psychological power of such an artifact is immense. Imagine being able to speak to your lost loved ones one last time. It's a deeply tempting and dangerous power. The story of the Peverell brothers warns of the dangers of using the stone. The second brother used it to bring back the woman he loved, but she was sad and cold, separated from him by the veil of death. He was driven mad by his grief and eventually took his own life to join her. This cautionary tale highlights the core problem with the stone. It offers a glimpse of what is lost, but it can never truly restore it. This can lead to obsession, despair, and madness. It preys on the deepest human desires and vulnerabilities. In the hands of someone who is unable to let go of the past, the stone could be a tool of self-destruction. But what about its potential for broader harm? Could Voldemort have used it to summon an army of the dead? The book suggests that the shades are not physical beings and cannot interact with the world in a meaningful way. They are more like ghosts, but tied to the will of the person who summoned them. They seem to be more of a psychological weapon than a physical one. The stone's power is deeply personal and internal. It affects the user more than anyone else. While it could certainly be used to manipulate people by showing them shades of their loved ones, its impact is limited to the realm of emotions and memories. It can't alter reality or cause widespread physical destruction. It's a dangerous and tragic artifact, but its danger is of a more intimate and personal nature. It's a tool for emotional torture, not for world domination. For these reasons, I'm giving the Resurrection Stone a 2 out of 5. It's a mildly game-changing artifact with a very specific and limited application of its power. Now for the big one, the Elder Wand. The third and final Deathly Hallow, the most powerful wand ever created. It's a wand that is said to be unbeatable in a duel. Its allegiance can only be won by defeating its previous owner. This creates a bloody and violent history, as wizards have fought and killed for centuries to possess it. The sheer power of the Elder Wand is staggering. It can perform feats of magic that are impossible for any other wand. Dumbledore used it to great effect, and in Voldemort's hands, it was a weapon of mass destruction. The wand amplifies the user's own magical abilities to an incredible degree. The concept of an unbeatable wand is fundamentally game-breaking. It introduces a level of power that is simply not balanced with the rest of the magical world. Whoever possesses the Elder Wand has an almost insurmountable advantage in any magical confrontation. The only way to defeat the owner of the Elder Wand is to become its master, which usually involves violence. This creates a perpetual cycle of conflict and bloodshed. The wand itself seems to have a will of its own, drawn to power and ambition. It's not a neutral tool. It's an artifact that actively encourages and rewards violence. The potential for a single individual to wield such power is a threat to the entire wizarding world. A dark wizard with the Elder Wand could be virtually unstoppable. However, the wand's allegiance is a complex and subtle thing. It's not just about physical defeat. Harry becomes the master of the Elder Wand not by killing Dumbledore, but by disarming Draco Malfoy, who had previously disarmed Dumbledore. This introduces a loophole that prevents the wand from being a simple tool of brute force. Its loyalty can be won through non-lethal means. This is a crucial detail that keeps the wand from being a completely destructive force. It's still incredibly dangerous, but it's not a guaranteed path to tyranny. The wand's power is immense, but it's also tied to the complex rules of wand lore. This makes it a fascinating and deeply flawed artifact. I'm giving the Elder Wand a 5 out of 5. It's an apocalypse-level item that has the potential to unravel society, and frankly, it's a miracle it hasn't already. Finally, we come to the Time Turner. This is an artifact that allows for limited time travel. Hermione uses one in her 3rd year to attend all her classes. The Ministry of Magic has a whole stock of them, although they are later destroyed. The ability to travel through time is, without a doubt, one of the most reality-breaking concepts in fiction. The potential for paradoxes, altered timelines, and unforeseen consequences is enormous. Even a small change in the past could have a ripple effect that completely changes the present. The wizarding world seems to have a very casual attitude towards time travel, which is deeply concerning. The time turners in the books seem to operate on a closed-loop model. Anything that happens in the past has already happened. Harry and Hermione don't change the past. They simply fulfill their role in a predetermined sequence of events. This neatly avoids the problem of paradoxes, but it also raises a lot of questions. If the timeline is fixed, then what's the point of time travel? It seems to be more of a tool for observation than for intervention. However, the play, _0, introduces a different type of time turner that allows for actual changes to the timeline, with disastrous results. This shows just how dangerous time travel can be when the rules are not so rigid. Even with the closed-loop model, the potential for abuse is still there. You could use a time turner to gain an unfair advantage in exams, to win bets, or to commit crimes and then create an alibi for yourself. The fact that these devices are available to teenage students, even a responsible one like Hermione, is a huge oversight by the Ministry of Magic. The potential for a single time turner to fall into the wrong hands is a catastrophic risk. A dark wizard could use it to go back and prevent their enemies from ever being born. The very fabric of history would be at their mercy. The time turner is a concept so powerful and so dangerous that it's a wonder the wizarding world still exists at all. It's the ultimate plot device and the ultimate plot hole. For that reason, the time turner gets a 5 out of 5. It's a civilization-ending artifact that should have caused an apocalypse, but for some reason, it didn't. And that's going to do it. That's 6 artifacts ranked from neat magical gadget to reality-shattering, time-bending instruments of potential doom. Do you agree with the ratings? Do you disagree? Did I miss an artifact? Let me know in the comments what you think. If you like this video, you'll probably like this one that is all about the biggest plot holes in the Harry Potter universe, because boy howdy, there are a lot of them. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.